Welcome back to the Isaac Abrams Show, everybody. I'm your host, Isaac Abrams. Today's very special guest, comedian, writer, podcaster, and philanthropist, Kelly Ryan. Welcome to the show, Kelly.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. It's going good.
Yeah, good?
Yep.
It's
you've
a
hooked
Friday.
me up with a coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I already drank mine, so I'm like, I've been off caffeine for 2 years.
Not anymore.
Nope. So I drink it on the show so people know who my truest self.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you get headaches?
No, I have really high blood pressure.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, so the doc said to quit caffeine, nicotine, marijuana, and alcohol.
Damn.
So I quit coffee.
Yeah, I always wondered what I would do if I heard that news.
Right.
And you'd like to think you'd be like, I'm cutting it cold turkey.
Yeah.
I'm done. But then I think about how often I drink a glass of wine and I'm going, there's got to be.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just start praying.
Yeah. Pray while you drink. Dear Lord,
Yeah.
can I have some more wine, please?
Yeah.
Well, I found this news out. I was at the doctor, what's the month before March? April?
Nope. Month before March, February.
Yes.
April is after.
Maybe it was the beginning of March 2020.
I don't know a lot, but I know my months.
Yeah.
I know the calendar a little bit.
It was basically when the COVID lockdown just happened.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And he was like, I need you to go to the hospital and get all this blood work. And I was like, I'm not going to go to the hospital and catch COVID. So
Yeah.
I'll catch you on the end of the quarantine or whatever.
See you on the other side.
Yeah, we'll see you on the other side of COVID. So I'm stretching out COVID as long as I can because I don't want to go get that blood work.
Right.
Let's plug everything you got. How can people find you on the internet?
So my Instagram is @thisisKellyRyan. And then my TikTok and my Venmo are Kelly Ryan Money. I'm trying to make Kelly K Money a thing.
Yeah.
It's not working out.
Do you make music or is that your sister?
My sister did. She's kind of gone down more of the comedy route because her TikTok blew up and like.
Nice.
Yeah, she's also very funny, and a lot of her lyrics were like. She understands where I'm coming from. They were bitchy and funny at the same time. So it's like for her, she was always funny, but was doing it like in a rap kind of way.
Ironically.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yep.
I think K Money, maybe it starts here.
Maybe it starts here. Today's the day.
And then you got a date a week from now in San Diego, right?
Oh, no. Sorry. October.
Right. But this is coming out in
October. You're right.
Yep. This is the week before the week of your show.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'll cut all that out. Don't worry about it.
Well, you know what I'm annoyed about now is I just did this whole speech about how good I was at calendars.
Right. Now I'm leaving it in.
Yeah.
So did you learn all your everything you know about calendars at Texas Christian University?
You know what? TCU, first of all, go Frogs. I'll say it no matter what.
I just looked it up on the Wikipedia. The mascot.
Horned Frogs.
Horned Frogs.
Yep. They shoot blood out of their eyes.
Really?
Yep.
Out of their eyeballs.
Out of their eyeballs. Mm-hmm.
How long before it's like hot fire?
You know what? I never, they're very rare. So you don't really get to see a lot of them. They're in the desert or something. You know what?
Surrounding the university.
They told me I believed it. You know, if it shoots blood, great. If it doesn't, then it's a lizard.
Being a Christian university, they probably told you a lot of things that you believed then.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I also went to a private Christian school, so
Oh, really?
Not for college, but for middle school and a little bit of high school.
Oh, really?
So I drank some of the Kool-Aid as well.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. TCU is affiliated with, but not governed by, the Disciples of Christ. Right. So basically, you had to take a religion course, but it could be of any religion.
Yeah.
They weren't really shoving it down your throat, but a lot of parents would be like, "Oh, my kid's at a Christian school," but it really didn't have much to do with
for the football program.
Yeah.
You
had some people that were really into it.
Yeah.
Did I hang out with them? No, but they were there.
Yeah. Did you see what's that super Mormon school in Utah?
BYU, I think.
There was a clip this week. I don't know if it wouldn't be this week. There was a clip 5 weeks ago that somebody was interviewing the campus kids, and they were like, "Would you rather suffocate or watch a porn video?" And they were all like, "Suffocate and die for sure." Like every single one of them.
Wow.
They were all like, "Porn." One of them was even like, "What's porn?"
Oh no.
Like, you're all liars.
You're either that or you're fucking brainwashed.
Or they don't. Or they have really good firewalls on the internet at that campus.
Yeah. Something tells me on that campus they still use like fucking Firefox and like
dial up. Yeah.
You got to wonder how far back they are mentally.
Ooh. I mean, have you been to Salt Lake City?
I have been to Salt Lake City, and I'll say this, put it in print. Worst pizza I ever had in my life.
Okay. Okay.
I also
with that New York accent.
Worst pie I've ever fucking had.
That's from a New Yorker, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't eat Chicago deep dish. I don't do that.
Accent's coming out.
That's a casserole. You're out of your mind.
You have to have it once in your life.
Yes.
To know that it's shit.
Yep. I did it.
Yeah.
I did the thing.
Thanks for the lasagna, pal.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going back to New York.
Yeah. Exactly. Thin crust all the way.
All day.
I'll die on this hill.
Yeah. So is the New York accent from growing up in Connecticut?
Yeah. So I like my area of Connecticut was very short train ride to New York City. So like pretty much everybody that I grew up around worked in New York type of thing. But I think also it kind of just came out more as I got older because I don't really know. But my sister and I both have it. My brother doesn't have it at all.
Is he older or younger?
Older.
He's older. 2
years older, yeah.
When did you guys, like, were you born in Connecticut and you grew up?
No, we were actually born in Portland. And then we moved to Connecticut for a year. Then we were in Texas for 4 years. Then we went back to Connecticut. That's where I did most of my growing up, if you will. And then I went to Texas for college.
Great. I'm sure everybody tracked that.
Yep.
Ding, 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 ding.
And then out here to Los Angeles.
Yeah. So. And you went, excuse me, did you go back to Portland for a little bit recently?
I did. I went over the pandemic. We moved up there for a year. And actually, Simon Gibson, the guest that you had earlier.
5 weeks ago.
Yes. Simon, he was the only person besides my boyfriend and my sister that I would see over the pandemic for like weeks at a time.
Wow.
Because we were all very strict about COVID and not getting it. This was before the vaccine.
Yeah.
So like I got a lot of Simon Gibson, which was so fun because I'd always known him out here, but like, and I was friendly with him, whatever, but over the pandemic, I mean, once shows started coming back up in Portland, we were having the time of our lives.
Yeah.
Because they were coming back in Portland before here, which is crazy.
That is crazy because they're a little bit more progressive than us, which is also weird to say that something's more progressive than Los Angeles. But.
Yeah. But I think it's because Portland, they're drinkers. So like they stand for something until it hits like 5 p.m. and then it's like,
whatever.
I'm hammered. Who cares?
I'm off the clock now.
Yeah.
And while you were there, exactly 14 months ago, you won Portland's Funniest Person.
I did. Yeah.
I just watched that set.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's very funny.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It only works in the left ear, though. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't listen to it in headphones.
Oh, I get a lot of comments that are like, why is it only in the left ear? I'm like, I don't know. And
On YouTube?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And I'm like, you know what? It's fucking free.
Right.
Quit bitching. Come on.
Not watching your stand-up if it's not in both ears.
Like,
what?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Don't come to the show either. You should start fucking with people and telling the sound guy at your shows to just put the left speaker on.
Oh, yeah.
And then everybody's like, every time I hear Kelly, this is also my right, too. So, yeah.
We're really proving today how fucking smart we are.
We're good and smart.
This is what happens when you go to a Christian school.
Yep, that's right. You get the extra smarts.
Yeah.
Or you end up becoming a comic.
Yeah, whichever.
Right. It's funny because I thought for a second that Ben Avery, do you know Ben Avery?
Yeah.
I thought that I knew he went to a Christian school in Texas.
Yes.
So I was just looking it up. He went to Abilene or something.
Yeah.
But under the credits, like notable alumni, he's listed as number 2.
No way.
Yeah, it's the CEO of some major pharmaceutical company. And then Ben Avery, no hot link, producer of Tim Dillon, and then the link to Tim Dillon's podcast on the Wikipedia for the superest Christianist college on the planet.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if he knows that.
I don't know if he does.
He does now.
He does now. Yeah, he is so funny, and his brother is also very funny. Jace Abrams.
Jace, yeah.
Yeah.
They were on the first episode back of this season.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Those guys are both great. They're very
super
talented.
Funny. Jace is an amazing artist.
Yeah.
Drawer.
And he does not give a shit.
No fucks.
It's awesome.
So many fucks not given that he has to have a backup account.
Yeah.
Like if you know you're riding the line and you have a backup account, that means you got canceled already.
Yeah.
I don't know what episode it was, but we were already making fun of people that like in their bio they say like how many TikTok followers they have or deleted at.
Yeah.
It's like canceled at 3,491 people. It's like,
It's the new I have 500 friends on Facebook.
Right.
Like, who gives a shit?
Oh
like,
my God.
We live in such a bubble, like the world that we're in, of like how many followers do you have, how many whatever. And it's like, if you go talk to someone on the street, like, if you mention, I would say 90% of the people that have specials on Netflix, nobody knows who the hell you're talking about.
No.
Like,
we all know who they are because we follow comedy so incredibly closely, but like, people just Google on YouTube, like stand up. I want to laugh. First one comes up. They play
Boom,
it. Yeah.
done. Yeah.
Unless it's not funny. Then they skip to the next one. And there's people that just watch comedy every night.
Yeah.
And there's enough comedy to go around.
Exactly. But it is wild when people get, I mean, I don't know. You wouldn't, like, for instance, I don't know what the stocks are right now.
Oh, you don't?
I have... I got no clue on stocks, but I'm sure there's a huge percentage of people that are like, oh, so-and-so plummeted today.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but I'm not paying attention to that.
Right. Well, we have all the stocks here. Bring in the stocks, please. That'd be funny. Just men in suits show up.
Yeah, you're like...
I follow crypto a little bit, but like I could skip a couple days and miss something.
Yeah. I'll tell you this right now. I don't understand any of it, and I'm not looking to try to.
I don't either. But very long time ago, I got in very early.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of money. And I thought it was going to be more money. And then I woke up one day and all the money was gone.
And you're like, what the hell?
I was rich for a second, like a literal second. It was one of those things where like I put $100 in and it went to $1.5 million overnight and went back to negative. And I was like, oh, if I had woken up in the middle of the night for no reason, I would have a lot of money.
Dang.
So I still just, every once in a while, I'll throw a couple bucks in there and I'm like, in case this comedy stuff doesn't work out.
Then you got to stay up every hour on the hour, make sure that it doesn't.
I haven't slept in 6 years.
I am so awake.
So tired.
Where did you go to school?
I grew up in North Carolina. I was born in New York, Kingston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So upstate-ish, Kingston, where they did Woodstock. And then at 3, they moved the headquarters of IBM down to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So we have this stupid dad joke that says IBM stands for I've been moved. Yeah, my dad came up with that. Grew up there, moved out to California when I was 26.
Okay, gotcha.
With my band. And we did not get the record deal that we thought we would get, but we all got jobs in the film business. And now here we are. Explains the guitars that we're looking at. I'm a recovering bass player.
Yeah, wow.
Haven't played either one of these in a very long time because they look cool on the wall.
They do look cool. And I know bass players. I know Pete Wentz.
Do you?
No. I know of him. Yeah.
Shout out Pete.
Shout out Pete Wentz. Man, that guy, when I was in high school, it was like he was the number one.
Bro.
Dude.
Yeah,
he was, because I remember I like begged my mom for a fucking Clandestine Industries necklace, the bat with the heart or whatever. I begged her for it, and she was like, I don't understand all this. I don't get it. And this is actually so funny. So I went to my dad got me tickets to a Fall Out Boy concert, and I was so hyped. I was supposed to go. It was supposed to be me and my sister. And this girl this is so petty and wild. This girl emailed that hated us, emailed my sister saying, I hope you get sick and can't see FOB. And then my sister got sick and couldn't go.
Oh my God.
I know, what a fucking bitch.
What kind of evil is that?
I know. I don't fuck with a lot of bitches named Brooke.
Yeah, mine's Heather. I don't do Heather.
Really? Can't do Heather,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was in my little emo band, I maybe shouldn't tell this story. I wrote a song about Heather's being sexually promiscuous.
Promiscuous.
Yep, that's the word. And then I brought it into rehearsal and I played it for the band, and my drummer was like, "Hey, dude, that's the theme song to Entertainment Tonight."
Oh.
So
Oopsie.
we scrapped that song called Heather is a yeah. That never came out.
Yeah. Well, not all of them can be bangers,
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, for us, not any of them can be bangers. We had no bangers.
You shot your shoot? What?
We shot our shoot. Yeah. Boy, did we shot our shoot.
Let me tell you.
There's a lot of unfortunate past relationships out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like in any artistic industry, you make mistakes. People go, don't date whoever in your group, and then you do it anyway because you're like,
yeah.
I'm the person it'll work out with.
100% of the women that I've talked to in comedy go, I don't date comics, and I'm going, all right, I'm gonna start the clock. Just waiting.
You know what? I never said it, and I did, and now I'm in a very good relationship with a comic, and I can't imagine not dating one. Like I don't know how you do trust at all.
Yeah.
Like if the other person isn't also always out at night doing X, Y, and Z. Like I have some very good friends who have boyfriends and fiancés who, live totally like corporate lives, whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're not even worried about their girlfriend. It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would do.
It is weird. Like people that have never toured, and by the way, shout out Bruce Gray.
Shout out Bruce Gray.
Yeah.
Yes.
People that have never toured think that like it's before the show, it's this backstage party with 1,000 strippers and cocaine, and then there's the show for like 2 hours or whatever, and then after the show, like we're popping champagne and there's like tubs full of money and like everybody's just hanging out with gold chains on. Yeah. It's basically like we're done with the show and we go backstage and take a shower because we didn't get a hotel room, and we get on the bus and we're driving to the next city. So it's like
the glamour
party on Wayne. Like we might do a meet and greet. Yeah. And then it's like once you really meet some of these people face to face, it's like I don't want any of these people in my dressing room. So
yeah, everyone seems a lot of people like what's not projected to the public is that a lot of them are just a nightmare. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of comedians that are so funny, and then in personal whatever, it's like lights are on but nobody's home. Nope. You're lost in the damn sauce. Yeah.
If they're not their comedic personality on stage, then off stage they're just like sometimes they're saving their energy.
Yeah, but that is true.
And it is different to tour clubs than it is theaters. It's like the club thing is like you're lonely and the staff is bored and wants to hang out. Mm-hmm. So you go to TGI Fridays.
Yeah, why not? Why not? The other night I was at the Improv down in Irvine, and my brother came to the show too, and we afterwards we went to Dave & Buster's.
Nice.
And I fucking love an arcade.
Chuck E. Cheese for adults.
Yes, I love it. Yeah. And it's half off on Wednesdays.
Oh.
So
like half off the price?
Yeah, of the games.
Oh, okay.
So like some games would be like 4 tokens, but it's 2 instead. So
yes. So because math.
Yeah, we were raking it in.
So you got months and math.
Those are my 2 things.
Okay, we got it. Okay, yeah. Uh-huh. So Dave & Buster's.
Dave & Buster's, yeah. And but yeah, like a bunch of the staff from the Improv was there at the bar. Yeah. And it's like, because Dave & Buster's is open till like 1. Mm-hmm. So that's where they go afterwards. And it's like, this is fine. I'm good with this. Like,
it's just nice to be around people when you've been in your hotel room or by yourself most of the day. Yeah. And then there's this community of people, even if they're not talking to you, you're like, I know these people. Right. And you're like not alone in a town. Right, It's just fun.
You know what? That's why I've always, because I was, I got a good group of girl comedian friends, and we all talk about how nice it is that, and hopefully that we all kind of come up at the same time and the same speed, because why wouldn't you want to bring your friends with you?
Exactly.
You know, like that's why there are some friend groups that it feels like everything is a very big competition.
Yeah.
And which is toxic in its own, and I hate that word toxic because it's overused, but it's true. It's
a very toxic word.
Yeah. Toxic is a toxic word. That's what they're not talking about.
That's right. These are the hot issues in the streets right now. Toxic is toxic.
Exactly. And so like when you see it though, and you're like, this is just, why wouldn't you want your friends to succeed with you? You want to be alone the whole fucking time?
I think there's some really good examples of how developing a squad and everybody having a role can benefit the whole squad. Like Andrew Schultz is the best example of it.
Yeah.
Right? So he built it out, and like he got comics. One could shoot, one could edit, one could do this, one could co-host with him on the podcast.
Right.
One could produce the podcast, and he takes them everywhere. And then as he gets bigger, they get bigger. Now Akash is breaking off and doing his thing, getting his own team together.
Yeah.
And it's like a really good, they do it in sports, right? They have the farm teams and then they have the big teams.
Yeah.
So like I'm in the process of building out my squad, or being a part. And I'm also part of other little people's squads, right?
Yeah.
So I can get my shot with some bigger people,
right?
And then when it's my turn, bring some people up with me.
Yeah. It's we were talking about this the other night too, about how like it's so easy to not be a dick, and also people forget how much comics really do talk to each other. If you're an asshole, it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. No one's putting up with that anymore. We're saying how like because I was opening for Santino, and he was saying, just about how like back in when he was starting out, how it was a lot more like rough and tough type of thing, and now it's and it's so cool because he's awesome. He's great. Yeah. And it's like to hear like his stories from his perspective, and knowing that I'm like, 7 years I've lived here or whatever. But it like the problems that I think that we have in the comedy community now, like I don't even know if they compare to what it was before, especially for women. Like I just...
I mean, I can't speak to that, but I would say... Yeah. As a society, if we're getting better, then in the comedy community, we have to be getting better.
Yeah.
Because I think some people got called out pretty aggressively.
Oh, yeah.
Which either scared everybody else into changing their behavior or educating themselves.
Yeah.
Like as a male, I want to educate myself on the right way to behave and conduct myself around not only female comics, but just every woman.
Yeah.
Like at the grocery store or at the gas station, or like,
right.
Oh, I didn't know that's not cool. I won't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I think calling people out on their shit is one way to do it, because people just used to take shit and go, I guess that's just what dudes do.
Yeah.
But no, if we call out ourselves and other people,
I
also think it's dudes' responsibilities to call out other dudes.
Yeah. And also I think it's also a lot of like self-reflection of like, hey, that person is now standing on the other side of the room from me.
Yeah.
Maybe I did something weird.
Right. And I'm going to make it weirder by going, did I do something weird?
Hey, did I do something?
Yeah. But I mean, you're never going to learn if you don't ask.
Yeah. And it could be just, no, I like this corner. And, or
without you in it.
Yeah.
My favorite place is anywhere you're not.
Yeah. No offense to you.
No.
You didn't do anything to me. I just...
Just my person doesn't like your person. Are there people in the comedy community that you hate? Let's call them out right now by name.
That I hate?
I'm totally kidding.
You know what?
You were going to go for it.
Well, because I was thinking about it, and I really don't, like... And maybe it's just because I've met people before in life that I truly hate, and none of them are really comedians. I just don't. Yeah. It's like, I know what a real bad person is, and an annoying comedian is not that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the system is set up to kind of weed out. Like, once you get to a certain level, you have to learn how to hang. Yeah. Or you're not going to be at that level. Yeah. Like, the people that haven't figured out the hang haven't gotten to the level where they're going to be in the green room annoying people anyway. Yeah, exactly. Like it is really nice to go and like, whether I'm hosting or featuring, and know that whoever is the other person, I'm probably going to know. Yeah. Because you get to a certain point where it's kind of all the same group. And, that's the other thing. It's like, there's a very small percentage of comedians that actually
are quote unquote working, like making,
right,
a good amount of their income off of comedy. There's plenty of like open micers or people that are on their, the internet comedy or whatever that might be. But in terms of people that are continuously selected to do, the clubs and whatever,
it's selling tickets.
Yeah.
I think how many clubs are in the U.S.? I looked it up once and I can't remember the number, but like,
I don't know.
If there's 5 clubs in every state, right? That's 250 clubs.
Yeah.
Are there 250 national headliners? Probably, but like we're in our LA bubble.
Right.
New York's got their bubble, and we kind of keep an eye on them. They kind of keep an eye on us, and we go back and forth. But like, really, we could probably name the top 100 touring headliners right now.
Definitely. And it's going to a smaller scene too. Like when I was up in Portland, it is very crazy how like they have maybe 4 or 5 people that can do half an hour and up. So like they're booked nonstop. So they're making money in their area and whatever. And like, but of course when they come down here, it's a different ball game. It's like, okay, well, I'm a headliner up in Portland, but am I a headliner down in LA? They're not going to book me to headline, like do a one night headliner at the Hollywood Improv, but they'll book me to headline up in Portland for, a huge bar show. It's just totally different. Yeah. Yeah.
It's levels. And it's like when you're at like a medium level here in Los Angeles, you're at a headliner level at there's A, B, and C clubs.
Right.
Like it's just like the farm teams in baseball. It's like you move up, you start selling out a C club, you're going to B's.
Yep.
Start selling out B clubs, you're going to A's.
Yep.
Then it's theaters. Mm-hmm. Then it's arenas.
Which seems terrifying. Because even when I first did the main room at the Comedy Store, doing like being in rooms, the OR is my favorite because it's like 200 or something, which I think is like the perfect room where you're intimate enough, but you're still giving a full performance, if you will. The main room though took me a second because it was like, I gotta wait for the waves to hit, and I'm already a fast talker. Yeah. So it's like, slowing down my cadence feels so unnatural.
Right.
But you have to do it. So like an arena, I can't even imagine. I mean, how long it takes to say one fucking thing. Yeah.
Your hour is now an hour 45.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, if it's funny.
Yeah.
If it's not funny, it's 41 minutes. Just taking the money and run.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that like Tom just moved up to arenas. Tom Segura.
Oh yeah.
So like, let's go. Let's get. I mean, Bill just did the Boston Fenway Park.
Oh really?
Yeah. Fluffy did 2 nights at Dodger Stadium. Like, let's get all the big dudes up to the arenas, right? Let's open up some theaters for some other guys, which will open up A clubs for some people that are at B. Let's all move up.
Yeah.
I want all the old dogs to just start doing massive arenas.
Yeah.
Make some room for the rest of us.
Yeah. Well, why not? I mean, because they will sell it out.
Yeah.
I mean, people... God, Bill Burr is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I can watch him over and over again.
I have seen all of his stuff. I consume so much comedy that it's affected my ability to write. Because I'm judging my new premise off of their 2-year Cooked special.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going, man, I'm
never gonna.
I'm not ever. That's a perfect joke. I don't have any perfect jokes. I also haven't cooked a special for 2 years either.
Right.
So I guess I need to start doing that.
It's also though, I mean, the amount of time that they can dedicate to it, and that's why they always say like your first album or your first special is years and years and years of curated material. But then, when your next one is out 2 years later, it's because you've just gotten to work on that. You've made the money to where you could just tour now and focus on that. And like, you don't have to do anything else. Like, I have a day job and I cannot, it's a great job. My coworkers are awesome, but I cannot wait to just be able to focus on comedy and spend my whole days doing that, you know? Like, but there's no way to build the amount of material that I would like to with another job. It's just not possible.
I just heard somebody, I don't know if it was Rogan, say that Louis just built a new hour in 2 months.
Holy shit.
Because I think he dropped an hour somewhere and then it was like, oh, I booked some dates and I don't have anything. And he built out 3 20 minutes in 2 months. He just worked on 20 until it was done, put it up, worked on another 20.
Insane.
But you got all day, every day.
Guy's a machine.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Plus, he's well in his comedic personality, in his shoes. He can write in his voice.
He knows. Yeah, he knows who he is. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea who I am.
No.
No.
You're Isaac.
Yeah.
Says it right there.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's me. Hilarious. We already plugged your podcast, right? Nightcoop?
I don't think we did, actually.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about Nightcoop. I love doing it. I do it with my twin sister, Allie, and we have this bit going where we've been wearing denim every episode.
But like different denim?
Different denim.
You go shopping for different denim every week?
We have bought so much denim at just like thrift stores and whatever, and every single time the person that's ringing us out is like, so what's the deal? And we're like, oh, we have a podcast. It's like, we don't even want to lie, but it's like also embarrassing at the same time. Like, I have a podcast. If you want to check it out, you can.
It's called The Denim Twins.
Yeah. And so what is funny is because for people that like don't know us and they see us in denim, not knowing, like they'll see a clip and they'll not know it's a bit that we're in denim.
Yeah.
So like we've gotten comments where it's like, who are these two fucking townies yelling about whatever? It's always men that hate women. It's classic.
Well, 90% of YouTube is men.
Men, yeah.
Just hating on the internet.
Oh my God, it's crazy. And we get a lot of but a lot of really nice comments. I mean, some that just make my day of like on the YouTubes, that are like, this podcast makes my week, like, and seeing that, it's like, okay, we're on the right track,
Yeah.
And it's so fun doing it with Allie. Obviously, we're on the same wavelength for everything. So it's a great time.
Have you guys been twins your whole lives?
Your whole life.
Sorry, I tried to do that with a
I was a twin 10 minutes longer than she was, though. I came out first.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
You were an only child for a minute.
I was an only child for 10 minutes.
Somebody brought up the other day that because they came out second, so they were saying that they should be older because they
cooked longer?
Yeah, I don't. Who was it?
That's interesting.
I don't know. I think it was Napoleon Dynamite. I forgot his real name. John Heater.
Is he a twin?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Napoleon Dynamite. Have you ever seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Have I seen Napoleon Dynamite?
The other guy?
Yeah.
Is a twin also.
Kip?
Yep.
No way.
No. The little guy.
Kip.
Not his brother. Kip's his brother with the mustache. It's his sidekick.
Oh. Pedro.
Pedro is a twin.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That rules.
Yeah.
But Napoleon Dynamite, I probably reference Napoleon Dynamite once every 2 weeks.
I have John Heater's number. Do you want to call him?
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
He left a sweater on set one time and he called me and was like, hey, I left my sweater on set. I was like, go get it, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I left.
That movie, it holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
He was just on Pete Holmes. You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes, and he goes through the whole breakdown of how they made it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'd love it.
I bet I would.
It was like totally indie. Obviously, it was totally indie.
Right,
but like
right.
The way that they did his hair and all that other stuff. He tells all the stories.
Gotcha.
I would totally recommend it.
Yeah, I definitely will check it out. I have most of my favorite movies are very goofy.
Yeah? What's your second favorite movie?
Ooh, well, Napoleon Dynamite is probably the second. No offense.
What do we got in first place?
Top number one.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, this is so stupid. Good Burger.
100%.
You've never seen Good Burger?
I've never heard of Good Burger. Does it have Mark Wahlberg and his brothers in it?
No, it's
that's Wahlburgers.
Yeah, that's Wahlberg. That's the restaurant.
Yeah.
I've been to it in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, it was a weird one.
That's outside.
Yeah, it was interesting. But no, it's Keenan and Kel that are in Good Burger, and basically it's a Nickelodeon movie.
Oh, okay.
And it came out, I think, in like 2000, maybe 1998, or between 1998 and 2000, I think.
All right.
It came out. And it is to this day, what I think the funniest thing in the world. Keenan crushes.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me. And I'm sure now, like if you were to watch it, you'd be like, this is so stupid. But to me, it was my introduction to comedy. Of just like, this is what humor is.
Yeah, mine was Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Dumb and Dumber was like, smart people can play dumb characters.
Yeah.
Written by really smart people.
Right.
And I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love just the straight face, like, I'm saying the stupidest shit in the world and not cracking up.
I just watched Dumb and Dumber for the first time like a month ago. I had never seen it, and which Bruce was like, how the hell have you never seen this? And I was like, I don't know. But when Jim Carrey, when they arrived to Aspen, and Jim Carrey goes, "We're there." That is the funniest, most simple thing in the world. I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you have to be smart to write that.
Yeah.
That is so silly.
I have a super bad memorization problem, but I can almost quote the whole film.
It's so good.
Like, in the first 3 minutes, he's driving her to the airport in the limo.
Yeah.
And he's turned around like, 90% of all accidents happen on the way to the airport, and he's not even looking where he's going. And then a tanker explodes.
It's a good one.
It's so good. The remake, there was a Dumb and Dumber 2,
Yep.
that wasn't affiliated with Jim. Mm-hmm. It was a prequel.
Gotcha.
Wasn't that great? But Dumb and Dumber 20 years later.
Yes.
It's almost.
I gotta watch that.
It's interesting. It's entertaining.
Okay.
But it's like,
in terms of comedies, the only other one that I feel like I have to mention because I am a diehard fan of it is Tropic Thunder.
Oh.
I
Let's go, Danny McBride.
love Tropic Thunder.
What a great movie. I was just talking to somebody the other day about like how they just don't make comedies anymore because we're so woke and we're tired of getting canceled and all that shit.
Yeah.
But somebody was saying it's just going to take one person's just going to have to go out there and just blow it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tropic Thunder hit every demographic to offend that it's like it's no longer offensive
on purpose.
You did the whole thing. Simple Jack, that whole concept is insane.
Yes. But doing it on purpose because you know you're going to get canceled for it on purpose. Like the whole
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like everybody in the film business was like, that's me. So great. So good. You got Tom Cruise to make fun of himself.
I mean,
they just don't do that anymore.
No. I mean, this really, it was like, when I was watching it, and it was my first R-rated movie that I got. My parents were very strict. And so first R-rated movie that I got to see in theaters, my mom was like sweating bullets bringing us in there. She was like, I don't know. And my dad was like, Kim, they're 17. It's time.
The twins are getting R-rated.
They're getting R-rated. And I was like crying, laughing. And I was like, this is what I've been being held back from.
Right.
This type of humor.
Right. But you started at the top, right? So then the next movie you go to is like, oh, it's not as funny.
I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Why? The heck?
I can't think of another one to compare it to because there's just everything else is just subpar.
Yeah.
But there was that whole run of like Superbad and
you had Superbad, you had Pineapple Express, you had Forgetting Sarah Marshall, you had
30 Minutes or Less.
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids was oh
god, killer.
I laughed the whole way.
It was the first time I had seen like women be accurately representative of how fucking funny they are.
Yeah.
Like not in a way of like, I mean, just also disgusting.
Yeah.
And women are like, it's totally true. Like women are just as gross as men, if not grosser. There are things that I do where Bruce is like, that is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I was a huge like Chris Farley kid growing up. And then to see like an animated woman just balls out like, I'm funny, fuck you guys, and just rule an entire movie. It was just, I loved it.
Yeah.
And they cast everyone else perfectly.
It was just...
Should we start a movie review podcast?
I mean, of only Bridesmaids, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. This week on Movie Review Podcast, Tropic Thunder.
But we're only going to talk about Jack Black's character today.
Right.
The dynamic of Jack Black and cocaine.
Man. Oh, man. Jack.
He is somebody that I will also watch. I have my top dudes, and he's one of them.
Zach Galifianakis is like right up there for me.
Yeah.
Or he was. He got very serious.
He did get serious.
Yeah.
I'll watch anything with him. I'll watch anything with Jake Gyllenhaal. Watch anything with Paul Dano.
Did you see Jake's last movie?
Which one?
The 911 operator guy?
The one that was on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. You want to know something, though? He was on screen the whole time. I watched the whole thing.
Hey.
That's what the thing is. It's like, he is so captivating to me.
It wasn't made for me. It was made for fans of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. And however, the twist at the end really did throw me for a loop.
I didn't make it to the end of it.
Oh, really? Oh, dang it. Yeah. You wait the whole movie for the end.
Yeah.
That's really it.
What is it called? The operator?
I forget.
I'll just
911 something.
Right.
But there's another movie that he's in, LA Ambulance or something. Is that out?
It is out, and that's the guy who did all the Transformers movies.
Michael Bay.
Yes.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's a Michael Bay movie.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
But I, to me, Prisoners is like the perfect psychological thriller with Jake Gyllenhaal, Paul Dano, Hugh Jackman. Have you seen it?
No.
Prisoners? Oh my God. Do you like psychological thrillers at all?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. This one is, to me, top of the food chain. Like, it has the same feeling as like the first season of True Detective.
Oh.
So it's like that kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And the acting is awesome. And yeah.
I'm trying to think of I wouldn't call it a psychological thriller, but it was like a massive twist at the end. It was the guy. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to cut all this out. I'm thinking Clockwork Orange. That's not even close. It was, they're down in the docks of Long Beach, and the guy gets arrested, and it says there's a guy named Kobayashi, but at the end, the twist is that he's only reading the stuff off the billboard behind the detective that he's talking to the whole time, and I just blew it if you haven't seen it. Usual Suspects.
Haven't seen it.
I just ruined it for you.
Oh, dang it.
It might be the best film ever made.
Well, now what?
Yeah. now you'll never know.
I'll never know.
Have your sister watch it and see if it seeps into your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, do you get bullshit like that? Do you get dumb questions from people all the time?
Oh, of like me and her type of thing?
You guys telepathic?
Yeah. I mean, we're about as mind ready as you would be for someone who's been right next to you your whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
so
it's
super
like,
mind reading.
Yeah. It's like we're not. We know how each other feels in most scenarios. Like, if someone is acting fucking weird, her and I are on the same page.
And it's just a look.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so,
cool.
But I also kind of had that with my brother too. We're all very close.
Yeah.
So, which I'm very lucky and grateful for, considering you talk to a lot of comedians and they're like, I hate my family. And you're like, oh shit. Like,
they're like, family.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. Well, my family, like growing up, I didn't have a lot of consistent friends because I had a back brace growing up. I had a lot of like OCD with germs, the whole thing. So I wasn't exactly like, no one was begging to be my friend. You know what I'm saying? So my family, I was like, these guys are great. These guys like me.
Did Allie have a back brace too?
She did, but she didn't have the OCD section. So she was in high school. She was like making friends, whatever. We actually ended up splitting off. We both started at Catholic high school, and then 2 years in, I left and went to the public school because I was like, look, Mom and Dad, I'm going to go through hell these 4 years. You might as well not pay for it. Like,
right. Let's get free hell.
Like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
But they were very concerned because my public school was known, and this is just Connecticut, like known for bad weed, a lot of weed, which was like...
But it was bad weed? It
was all bad. To Connecticut parents, weed is bad. Just, right.
We got to get these kids some good weed.
Some good weed.
Tired of this bad weed.
Yeah, so they were kind of nervous about sending me there, I think. But then I didn't smoke weed in high school. I was a good egg, you know. I just wanted to be left alone pretty much. Yeah. And then I tried to stand up at a music open mic that was at my high school. Made fun of this girl that everyone thought was a bitch, crushed, and I went, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Did you write that, or did it just come to you on stage?
I ran into her in the bathroom like earlier that day, and I was like, man, if I could tell this fucking bitch off, I really would.
In front of the whole school.
Yeah, I really would. And so I had been staying after to do like stage crew or something, and they were like, oh, they're doing an open mic for music. And I was like, let me just go see if I can just talk instead. So I went up and I go, I'd like to go up. And they were like, what are you singing? And I was like, can I just say something? Can I just
Spoken word.
talk?
Yeah.
And they were like, sure. And so I basically just did stand up, but it was like about my day and about this girl being a bitch. And like everyone knew who I was talking about, and it crushed. And I cried all the way home. I was like, I found what I want to do with my life.
Wow. At 17.
Yeah. So then my dad signed me up for a class. Went to New York every week for 6 weeks. Took the class. He also did the class.
Yeah.
And I think he was excited and terrified for me because I'm surrounded by like a bunch of, 30 to 45-year-old people who are all like, my cock's out, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Jesus Christ. Like,
can't wait to bring my 17-year-old daughter here again next week.
No, I know. And we did like a showcase at Caroline's after the 6 weeks. And I did well. For like a 17-year-old, I did well. And I had a great time. But my dad destroyed.
Really?
Yeah. And it is still to this day, like I think about it all the time. And I'm like, because there were some people that came to support me and everything. And they were like, obviously you did great. They were like, but your dad? And I was like, I know.
Right. It wasn't just dad stuff. It was like...
No, he did like...
Good comedy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good, and he's trying to get back into it. He wants to, and I'm all for it because
why not?
Why the hell not? Yeah, and it's
get your sister into it.
Yeah,
get your dad into it, and then you got Bruce. The four of you guys go on the road. It's a family affair.
Come on,
let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I dated a guy once who had just, he was basically like, you don't want your dad doing all this, and I was like, why are you so against like someone? It's not a threat to you.
Right.
A 60-year-old man getting into comedy. Get real.
Were you in a different state?
Me and my dad?
Yeah, like where you were dating this guy.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a threat. It's like,
yeah, what are we talking about?
What are you doing?
Also, you're not good. So what are we doing here?
Right.
Like, so it was just, it's weird. Like you meet people who like put down older people who want to get into whatever they want to get into.
Sure.
And you're like, do you want them to just be like miserable?
Yeah.
And like, what difference does it make to you?
Right.
It's so weird.
I get a lot of that shit too because I'm older.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 42. I'll be 43. This might even come out on my birthday.
Oh,
so happy birthday to me, right?
Yeah,
hey, 43 now. But I started 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. People are like, oh, well, you got 11 more years before you're good. And I'm like, yeah, but I got 43 years of life experience and stories to tell.
Yeah.
And you're 21 and you're telling trans jokes.
And you're an asshole.
Right. So let's see. And even if I'm not good, I can advertise myself.
Yeah.
As being good.
Well, yeah. And you've made important connections that they'll never be able to make. I mean.
Or they have to earn.
Yeah. So it's like, you meet people that, I mean, there are so many people that started. I don't think Dangerfield started until he was like 60 something,
50.
Right? 50.
Yeah.
So it's like
Dean Del Rey, 36. Like it's all. You can pick it. Some people can pick it up faster. Plus, I have 15 years of like public speaking. So. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
I just have to do the funny part.
Yeah. And the hardest part, I think that a lot of people, it's being comfortable on stage.
Love it.
Like, so when you reach that where you're no longer, for a minute, if it was like a big enough show and I was like nervous enough, my foot would shake a little bit. And like, I was like,
left or right?
The right foot.
Always the right.
And I was like, I gotta fucking.
And then Allie's left foot's just going to town.
Yeah. And so I like, it doesn't happen anymore. But to me, that was the most challenging part of like, I know that I think what I'm saying is good. And of course, now I watch tapes even just from like 2 years ago. And I'm like, that was awful.
Yeah.
But that's just,
progression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But being able to go out in front of any crowd now and be comfortable, I mean, that's the biggest challenge, I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
And mine is, I put a lot of pressure on myself to like be funny, but whereas like if I was just going to go give a talk at like a film school in front of 500 kids,
yeah,
I wouldn't give a shit.
No.
I would be nervous walking in or out of that place. I'd be like, let's talk about what do you want to know? Like, it's fine because I'm an expert in that, right? So that's cool. I could talk about that all day long. But when it's like, all right, these 60 people need me to be funny. It's like, no, they don't. Just be who you are in front of the class as you would in front of these students. And it works out. So when I can get in that mindset, I crush. When I can't, and I tell myself it's gonna. Some people like to be nervous going on stage. I like to be super comfortable.
Yeah, I pretty much, my hot spot is I have had half a glass of Pinot Grigio and I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Because I think I normally have like a Diet Coke or a coffee on the way, and then I go, okay, I need to tone this down just a scooch.
Yep, we got meat in the middle of that wave.
Yep. So I'll have a half a glass of wine, and then I'm like, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But some people, I mean, some people like to be really amped before going up. That's scary.
Yeah. I tried it. I tried to do like super caffeine, and that just hits my ADD, and it goes, you're going to be obnoxious now. And like, it's too much.
Yeah.
And I tried drinking, and it was like, didn't give enough shits. Mm-hmm. So I think for me, like, as I'm also quitting like smoking, and I quit smoking 18 months ago, but I'm quitting the vapes by my birthday when this comes out. I've quit these vapes now.
Nice.
As I put it down. But yeah, like just going out there level-headed and sober is like the way to do it for me.
Well, I mean, it's, you got to find what works. And also I found like different things work for different types of audiences. So like when I was in Portland, like just again, the drinking nature of that city is crazy.
Yeah.
So when I'm going up, like for instance, at the first show, maybe I've had half a glass of wine, like I said, but then the third show of the night, it's like I'm up here after a few glasses of wine and I'm doing it, and I know that. But also the standard's different.
Right. They're all rock too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but like if I'm at the Improv, like the Hollywood Improv, I'm like, okay, I got to be on. You know what I'm saying? Like these people are here to see, they've heard, oh, LA is one of the best cities for comedy. I need to be present. Like also LA isn't that much of a drinky town, I don't think.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like a 2 cocktail and Coke town, and I don't do Coke or any of the drugs or whatever, but it's like so it's been difficult to get used to.
Yeah it is weird because also the Improv serves food. So they're eating sandwiches and chicken fingers and just eating.
I will say the spinach artichoke dip at the Improv is
it's delicious.
It's so good.
Yeah, and their burger is pretty good.
I haven't had their burger. I don't eat beef.
Well, then you'll never have their burger.
I'll never have the burger. And I can't have gluten either. What kind of hell am I in?
Yeah, what are we doing?
I know. But Allie doesn't have any of the allergies that I have.
Then you should watch her eat the burger.
I should. And I will. She loves a burger.
Mind meld and just go, send me the
energy,
send me
the vibe.
Tape.
Send me a tape of you eating the burger. Yeah.
In fact, if you guys started eating food on your podcast, I'm sure it would explode across the internet.
If we started eating food on the podcast?
Twins eating food on camera on YouTube is it's catastrophic. Like
that is a very good point.
Yeah,
people are fucking weird.
People are weird.
I forget that.
Play into the weird, but you're going to get a lot of what you don't want.
Right.
Like you want the comedy fan who's going to appreciate the content that you're saying, not the I'm only watching this because they kind of look alike a little bit.
And they're eating.
Yeah. But it would be interesting to have a segment where you're eating essentially the same meal, but she has the things that you can't eat. Like you have the gluten-free version of what she has.
That's actually a good idea. Because then people are like, oh, I want to eat that. And I go, well, I have the version for the allergy prone, whatever. But also that maybe would paint me as just a fucking loser. This is the kid that can't eat anything.
I think there's a big portion of America out there that would identify with you.
I think there are a lot of fucking losers out there.
Yeah, hey, fucking losers. Listen to Nightcoop.
Nightcoop.
Couple of twin losers. Eating food. Twins. Food.
Get with it.
Yeah. How about a lightning round?
Let's do it.
Favorite club or venue that you've ever played?
I got to hand it to the OR in the Comedy Store. That is my...
That's fair.
I love that room.
And we should mention your friends and family at the store.
Yes.
And my fans know what that means.
Yes.
Because I've had 4 or 5 people that, and by the time this comes out, 6 people that have been passed.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's, I just, the energy in that room is unbelievable. And it's where, like, I feel like the big comedy fans go.
Yeah. Main
room is like, date night, we're going to the Comedy Store.
Yes.
Belly room is, you know.
I don't like being in the belly room. Like, I don't
Really?
even like standing in there when there's nobody in there. The energy in there is weird for me.
Well, the history of the Belly Room is creepy as well. So it's, but I tend to, I like it a lot. I'm actually there tonight, which is not what tonight is. On the
5 weeks ago.
5 weeks ago. I'm in the Belly Room, and I like it in there. Sometimes, like for instance, like they'll do, when you're in Friends and Phelan, when you're in development, they give you like a 5 to 10 minute spot for certain shows that are not house shows. So like, sometimes I'll open for like roast battle that they'll do.
Yeah.
Now the roast battle audience is very different from an audience that's coming to a house produced Comedy Store show.
Right.
So like for that audience, I'm like, like this is probably not my group.
Yeah.
Whereas like the house Belly Room show, it's like very good audience,
Yeah.
So it's different. That room is hit or miss for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have my last experience in the OR is I took a date there, like right when I was getting into comedy, and she was it was Tony Hinchcliffe was on stage.
Oh yeah.
And she was repeating back everything that he said, but giggling. She's like, "Oh, Corvettes," and he heard her, and I was like, "We're leaving.
I'm sorry, we don't want to do this right now."
My bad. He was like, I was like, he's gonna fucking light you up. You need to shut up. She's like, I'm having fun.
Well, we're not.
No.
But
we didn't even order drinks. Like I saw him for maybe 3 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, we got to
get out of there."
Yep,
you got to get out of there.
I'm not gonna be lit up by Tony Hinchcliffe.
No, nobody needs that.
No,
and that man does not give a fuck. So that's the other thing.
He was born without fucks.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary. Cool. And then, do you have a weirdest place?
Weirdest place. So, oh my gosh. So this is actually crazy. So, a friend of mine who produces some shows, he hit me up, and Michael Longfellow. And do you know Michael?
Michael Longfellow just got SNL.
No, he did. Yeah. I love him so much. He's awesome. He's so fucking funny. And he and I were doing this private birthday party, or not a birthday. It was a going away party. And he and I are on this this rooftop in Venice. And it's just the two of us doing comedy. And then after that, there's a band that's playing.
Oh, great.
And there's no host. There's no nothing. Right. They just go, all right, your first comedian, Kelly Ryan. Okay, so I go up there. We set up, me and Michael set up a bunch of chairs. Like, the place was just not ready for...
What were they going to do, just stand around?
I guess.
Standing room only comedy?
Yeah. So the middle section, there's nobody seated there. So they're all on the sides in the back rows.
Great.
And I'm going up there. I'm like, this is going to be just weird. This is, it's a going away party for, the guy was awesome that was running it. It's just a totally interesting venue for comedy. You're on a rooftop. If it's going to be a rooftop, you want it to be packed because we're outside.
Yeah, and you want it to be Venice so you can see the sunset.
Yeah. So I'm doing crowd work on this guy, and he's wearing glasses and a cap, and I'm like, I'm doing crowd work on it, just shooting the shit, saying some things. Like I said something about his balls. I don't know. Okay.
I'm not laughing at balls.
It was one of those things where you're like, I am gripping on anything that I can.
Right. Give me something, fellas.
Something. Yeah. And so, because I try material, they're like, hey, we're here for a going away party. Who the hell are you? Type of thing. And so I'm talking to him and whatever. The guy running the party points at him and he goes, married with children. And I go, what? He goes, married with children. I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, Modern Family.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
What's his name? Craig something?
No, it's Al. The character is Al Bundy. Yeah. I talked to the man about his balls. And he goes, yeah. I go, you kidding? I go, you're not. No.
You're not famous, are
you? No.
You got famous balls?
He literally takes off his sunglasses. He's like, hey. And I'm like, oh.
Craig T. Nelson.
God. Ed O'Neill.
That's what I said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I wanted to get.
Oh, Craig T. Nelson was Coach.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, Ed O'Neill. And so
Ed O'Neill.
I told him, look. I was like, you got to understand.
Right.
I would never If I knew you were you, I would have never.
Not your balls.
Not your.
No.
No.
Oh.
It was so bad, and Longfellow is just like,
Right.
like he's like,
just
oh
setting him
my
up
God.
for success.
Yeah.
Follow that, Longfellow.
He was like, because I had to dip for another show, and he was like, I talked to him for a few minutes, and then the rest of the show was just pretty much nothing. I mean, once you find out that fucking
Right.
he's there, what else is there to talk about?
And who else is there that you don't know is there?
Yeah, exactly.
Is the rest of the cast just also wearing
sunglasses and a hat? Oh, God.
Peggy's here.
That was so funny. But I mean, in terms of weird venues, the place I guess wasn't that weird, but it was just a weird situation.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Now the next time you get a hard time from a guy on the road, you'd be like, "What are you, Ed O'Neill?"
Who the fuck do you think you are, Ed O'Neill?
And then it's even just if it's just funny to you, you're like, "Fuck you, Ed O'Neill." Awesome. That's a good story.
Yeah.
So what is the weirdest thing you saw or did as a kid?
Weirdest thing I saw or did.
We're looking for like dead bodies on train tracks, Stand By Me, kind of what did you like do weird stuff in the woods?
You know what I did see one time was I was walking around New York City with my parents. I was maybe like 10. And I saw this guy leaned up against a phone booth. And I was looking at him and I was like, this guy's dying. This guy is dying right here, right now. And I didn't know what to do. And I just kept walking. And then we came back that way and there was an ambulance and he was dead.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was kind of like my first intro with a dying guy.
You looked death in the face and said, keep going.
Well, I was, what am I going to help? What am I going to...
10 years old and you don't have any empathy at all.
I was just like...
I hope you continue dying.
I was like, that sucks. That really sucks.
Not even like a, mom.
Nothing.
Dead guy.
I didn't do nothing.
Die.
Well, I'll see ya.
or no, you just look at Ellie and go, another one.
Another one bites the dust.
We got him. Hilarious.
Yeah.
The next one is always kind of like a double follow-up, but have you ever seen a UFO or a ghost?
I don't think so. Well, no, I went on a ghost tour in New Orleans.
That'll do it.
And that was a creepy one. That was very creepy.
Those are weird.
Those are very weird. And, but I loved my tour guide. I bought her a Hurricane. Apparently, they're not allowed to drink while they do it, but I was like, come on. And so she had
Just one.
So, but she had the Hurricane, and then she really dove into some slave stories, and I was like, maybe I should have...
No.
Maybe you shouldn't be the drinker,
We don't need any hurricane slaves here.
We don't need any of that.
Speaking of hurricanes, have you ever experienced a natural disaster?
I did. I hid in my snack cabinet in Texas growing up because there was a tornado, and the house next to us got totally fucking rocked, and they had lightning strike the roof, and so that was that. And then let me see, natural disasters. You know what's so sad is my head immediately went to, this is dark, but somehow natural disasters and mass shootings are in the same category as me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was about to be like, well, I was in town when Sandy Hook happened, but
wow.
I only lived like 10 minutes down the road from there.
Wow.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when people are like, oh, it never happened, I'm like, oh, it happened.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. That whole, I don't even want to make jokes about the Alex Jones thing because it's like, I don't even like getting close to the cancel line or like rough stuff. I'm just like, I'm not saying you shouldn't have brought it up. I'm saying like my first gut thing would be like, well, it never happened. But like, Then I go, why would you do that? Like some dude's literally on trial for saying that right now.
Yeah.
Which is also weird. I never got into the InfoWars or any of that
No,
stuff.
me neither. I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff. But
I do see people like hyper diving into the left or the right and then like building a fan base overnight.
I think that's so cheap.
Yeah. And I like, how long can you sustain it? But the money's so good at the top when you do that.
Yeah, but also now you're that guy.
Right.
Can you live with yourself? I don't think I'd be able to. However, I will say this. I think that if I went really alt-right, That would be more successful for me than alt-left because I'm in Los Angeles. So people would be like, oh, look, see, Republicans live in L.A. Yep. That's like...
You get written up everywhere across the South.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's just another blonde bitch that's like,
right.
I'm a Republican.
Well, the alt-left scene is it's just overpopulated here.
Yeah, it's to the point where it's boring.
I'm going to champion, maybe you want to join me on this, the middle.
I like the middle.
Middle's good.
The middle's great.
Because I believe that 90% of the country is pretty much within 1 degree or 2 degrees of each other. And it's just 5% on the left and 5% on the right that are just making us all fight with each other.
They're the loudest ones.
Yeah.
They're the loudest ones. And you meet those people in person, you're like, you're the worst fucking person I've ever met.
Go away.
Yeah. It's like, I truly do believe, I think you're right, 90% of this country I could have a beer with. Yeah. And it would be totally fine. And then you get those other people that are just like begging for attention. It's like, okay, who didn't love you?
Anybody that believes in an absolute and doesn't flex on either side can go fuck right off.
Well, you're not being reasonable.
No, there's no such thing as absolutes. Not even science has absolutes because we're dumb.
Yeah.
400 years ago, we thought leeches were the cure.
Yeah, and guess what?
They were.
I put a leech on me every day.
That's right.
Morning cup of coffee, leech on my neck.
All right. 3 more.
Got it. Here we go.
Favorite vacation spot or destination?
I'm going to have to go with, I did go to the Cayman Islands, and that was fantastic.
Okay.
I love the Cayman Islands. But I also have to be in the mood for it. Like, sometimes I'm a very, like, moody, emo, Bon Iver bitch who likes the winter.
I have a story for you after we cut.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So, I do, like, if I'm going to go on a vacation in this area, I'm going to Big Bear right away. I love Big Bear.
Yeah.
They have a killer karaoke bar there. You can get fucked up in the cold, and you have a great time.
Yeah. So, you're a cold weather. You prefer cold?
On vacation, weirdly enough, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think it's not that I even ski or anything, but I think it's just I am much comfier in big baggy clothes.
Yes.
So to me, a vacation is all about comfort and chilling.
Because you can always put more layers on if it's cold.
Yep.
If it is hot and you get down to your shirt and your swimmy pants, that is the least amount of clothes you can wear in public.
Yeah.
Then you're just hot.
Yeah.
Unless you get in the water.
Exactly. Yeah. And until I'm wealthy enough to where my apartment has a pool or something, I think I'm going to prefer the cooler.
All right. We're putting pool on the vision board. This time,
pool.
I'm going to check in with you this time next year, and I expect you to have a pool.
All right. I expect me to as well.
Yeah. Inside your house.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
Inside pools.
Give me 5 years for the inside pool.
No. We do aggressive. What's it called?
Manifesting?
Yeah. And abundance.
Abundance. Okay.
Aggressive abundance around here.
Okay. Then write down hot tub too. Why don't
Hey, while you're at it. Hot tub and pool.
Yeah.
Infinity pool.
Ooh, nice. Infinity inside.
Yeah. And you're just looking down at the Comedy Store, just infinitying out. You're like, I just did a set and now I deserve this. Do you like Las Vegas?
I love Las Vegas.
Same.
I love it. And it's actually, if I'm not going to go to Big Bear and I'm going to go on a quick two night, I'm going to Vegas.
Oh, man. For a while I was going once a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell a lot about a person by their reaction to that question.
Yeah. No, I love Vegas. And actually, for my birthday this year, for our birthday, me and my sister, we went to, we stayed on Fremont for the first time.
Okay, the shitty part of Vegas.
Yeah, and I loved it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The people watching alone.
Oh, incredible. And there's a dive, I'm a big dive bar bitch, and there's this place called, I believe it's Hogs and Heifers.
Yep.
Yeah, and I danced on the bar. It was a great time. Yeah.
It's real dark in there.
Yeah. And they told me that I was dancing crazy enough too inappropriately for that bar, which I didn't think I was.
I feel like by the time you get to dancing on the bar level, we're not going to judge the
I didn't think so either.
Dancing.
I didn't think so either. Yeah, I don't know. But I also was tanked.
Yeah.
So
was that your first Fremont?
That was my first Fremont. Yeah.
Where do you stay when you're not free? When you do the strip?
Like a $42 Flamingo hotel.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
We'll have to change it.
We
got to get you over to the Cosmo with the corner suite.
I'm a pretty low maintenance type of, not to say I wouldn't do it.
It's your birthday.
Yeah.
You and the fam.
Yeah.
Just chilling on the 67th floor of the Cosmo.
Yeah, that would be great.
Aggressive abundance.
But what was crazy was, so Fremont, you know how they're always playing music.
Always.
Right? So Sunday morning, we had a couple drinks at the hotel. We're walking to the White Castle. Okay. So
treat yourself to a nice Sunday meal.
Well, Bruce was like,
go and get White Castle. Yeah.
Bruce was like, I never get White Castle. I was like, let's fucking do it. So we go to get White Castle.
Bruce, we're going to get White Castle.
Honey, get in the lift. So we go to Fremont, and they're not playing the music. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's because it's my dumbass. Maybe it's because it's Sunday, the day of the Lord.
They're going to play some hymns down here in a second.
Yeah. So we get to like the middle road that's in between the two like sections of Fremont.
Yeah.
And it's blocked off with a bunch of trucks and ambulances and everything. And we're like, what happened? And I guess a dude jumped from like one of the top buildings to, kill himself. But he ended up hitting a bunch of shit on the way down.
No. And he's still alive, and you look him right in the eyes, and you're like, die, motherfucker.
Yeah, I looked at him like, I'm not telling nobody. You're out of here.
Live in my eyes.
No, he didn't make it at all. He, it was like...
fucking died.
No, he fucking died. And for a second, it kind of ruined the vibe, obviously.
You don't say.
Apparently, you can't just...
And in other news...
I think of everything in cartoon brain.
Yeah.
So to me, when... were you a SpongeBob fan?
I missed that boat. I was a little too old.
Yeah. Well, there's this scene in SpongeBob. They do this multiple times where he gets hit and changes shapes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding. And so my sister and I are like, do not laugh. Do not laugh. Do not say it. Because obviously it's horrible. Of course it is. But my defense mechanism is humor 100%.
Right.
So I'm like looking down at the floor, and Bruce is like, don't. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. And he's like, he was like, this is bad. And I'm like, of course it is. Of course it is. And I look at my sister, both of us at the same time, do the same thing where we go, ding, ding,
no.
ding. And that's the same thing, though. That's the same brain.
Yeah.
Same brain. Yeah. It was gnarly.
I like the version where he lives and you look in his eyes. And you tie it to your New York experience.
Yeah, I like that version too, but Isaac, that's simply not what happened.
I know. I like to change history a little bit. Just stretch the truth just a little bit.
Yep.
All right, last question.
Okay.
What is the best meal you have ever had in your whole life? Some say it's the hardest question to answer.
It is a very hard question to answer because my mom is an incredible cook. And this was before I had all my dietary restrictions and whatever. So
you just had a plate of gluten.
It was a big plate.
One last
She would
plate of
make spaghetti and meatballs and with garlic bread, and then we would do a salad that had this raspberry vinaigrette from Cindy's Kitchen from Stu Leonard's. Look at me, I'm going back in time.
There it is.
From Stu Leonard's.
Just go.
It's an incredible raspberry vinaigrette. And what you would do was you would eat, obviously, the pasta and the meatballs or whatever, but you would then take the garlic bread and dip it in that dressing. And it didn't look like it was supposed to go together.
Yeah.
But it went together perfectly.
I'm so hungry right now.
I love a home-cooked meal, too.
Yeah.
Like, and it's hard to find good Italian food that's like not artsy out here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so although I did find Ma's Kitchen, I wonder if I think it's still open. It's in Burbank. Okay. Ma's Kitchen, their chicken marsala is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time you're in Vegas, go to Piero's.
It's okay.
Behind the behind the golf course.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if I'm like, I need to have this, I'll eat it. They have gluten pills that you can take. And so when I'm ready, I'll take those.
When you're ready.
You have a great trailer voice.
I am the trailer guy.
Oh, then there you go.
In a world.
Holy shit.
No, I actually dated a producer who hired voice talent.
Yeah.
And I was just talking like the trailer guy around her all the time because these guys would make like 80 grand for an hour-long session.
Holy shit.
And I was like, do you want to go to dinner tonight? And she'd be like, yeah, where do you want to go? And I'm like, anywhere you want. Like, I just did it around
for
her all the time.
$80,000.
I'm like, we could go anywhere. Yeah. She never
did it, huh?
Yeah, I don't have a voice agent or a voice reel, in fact. So
you should do one.
I know, because my next studio is going to have a VO booth and we're going to be doing VO for people.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so it's coming. Probably by the time this comes out, I might even have a VO agent.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love voiceover shit.
Let's plug everything one more time.
Alrighty. Instagram @ThisIsKellyRyan. TikTok, Kelly Ryan Money. My website is Kelly Ryan Comedy, and that's where you'll find all my shows.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly Ryan, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Great. We'll see you next time, everybody, on the Isaac Abrams Show. Subscribe and do all that other shit that all the other influencers say. You know I hate that part. And we'll see you next time.